a football legend, a Hollywood star, and the man accused of the most shocking crime of the 1990s. O.J. Simpson. Hero or killer? Before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Every week we uncover the world's most shocking true crime stories. June 12th, 1994. Brentwood, Los Angeles. Nicole Brown Simpson, Ronald Goldman. Both found murdered outside Nicole's home. The suspect? O.J. Simpson, America's football icon. But this was not just a murder case. It was a trial that became a cultural earthquake, a story about race, about celebrity, about trust in the justice system, and a story that would divide America forever. To understand the case, you must first understand the man. Orenthal James Simpson was born in 1947 in San Francisco. He grew up in poverty. He battled rickets as a child, forcing him to wear leg braces. But O.J. overcame obstacles. On the football field, he was unstoppable. At USC, he became a star running back. In 1968, he won the Heisman Trophy. Soon after, he joined the NFL. With the Buffalo Bills, O.J. broke records. In 1973, he rushed for over 2,000 yards in a single season. No one had done it before. He was powerful, charismatic, marketable. Companies lined up to make him the face of their products. He appeared in commercials. He starred in movies like The Naked Gun. He became a household name. O.J. Simpson was the perfect American success story, at least in public. In 1977, O.J. met a young waitress named Nicole Brown. She was just 18. He was still married to his first wife. By 1985, O.J. divorced and married Nicole. The couple seemed glamorous. They lived in Brentwood, an upscale neighborhood of Los Angeles. They had 2 children together, but behind the gates of their mansion, life was not perfect. Nicole's friends recalled bruises. Neighbors heard screams. Police reports documented repeated calls for domestic violence. Nicole once called 911 and said, "He's going to kill me." In 1992, after 7 years of marriage, Nicole filed for divorce. She cited irreconcilable differences. But in reality, it was about survival. Yet, like many couples, they remained entangled. Phone calls, visits, arguments. And by 1994, tensions reached a boiling point. It was a warm Sunday evening in Brentwood. Nicole had dinner with family at a local restaurant called Mezzaluna. Her mother accidentally left her glasses behind. A young waiter, Ronald Goldman, volunteered to return them later that night. Meanwhile, O.J. had spent the evening eating McDonald's with his house guest, Kato Kalin. At 10:15, Nicole's dog began barking uncontrollably. Neighbors would later describe the cries as eerie and desperate. By 10:40, Kato heard 3 loud thumps outside the guest house wall. At the same time, limo driver Alan Park was outside O.J.'s home, waiting to take him to the airport for a red-eye flight to Chicago. He buzzed the intercom again and again. No answer. Then, just before 11 p.m., Park saw a shadowy figure cross the driveway. Moments later, O.J. answered the intercom, claiming he had overslept. By 11:45, O.J. was on a flight to Chicago. Back in Brentwood, police discovered Nicole and Ronald dead. The crime scene was brutal. Evidence would soon point to O.J. Simpson. Police collected evidence quickly. A bloody glove at the crime scene. Another glove behind O.J.'s guest house. Blood drops leading from the bodies to O.J.'s Bronco. Bloodstains inside the Bronco. And even blood on socks inside O.J.'s bedroom. DNA analysis linked O.J. to the murders. The odds of the blood belonging to anyone else were in the millions to 1. Police issued a warrant for O.J.'s arrest. But instead of surrendering, O.J. disappeared. What followed became one of the most surreal moments in television history. June 17, 1994. Television viewers expecting the NBA Finals were shocked when the game was interrupted. On screen, a white Ford Bronco sped down the freeway. Inside was O.J. Simpson, holding a gun to his head, driven by his friend Al Cowlings. Helicopters followed from above. Police cars trailed behind. Highways were shut down. At gas stations, crowds gathered around TV screens. In bars, people stopped drinking and stared in silence. 95 million people tuned in live. Inside the Bronco, police later found cash, O.J.'s passport, a fake mustache, and a gun. The chase ended at Simpson's Brentwood mansion. He was arrested without incident. America was stunned. January 1995. The trial of the century began. It was televised daily. America was glued to the screen. The prosecution laid out their case. Blood evidence, DNA, footprints from a rare pair of Bruno Magli's shoes. They argued that O.J. killed Nicole and Ronald in a fit of rage. The defense hit back. Led by Johnny Cochran, F. Lee Bailey, and Robert Shapiro, they argued the LAPD mishandled the case. They said evidence was contaminated, or worse, planted. The trial was not just about murder. It became about trust in the police and about race in America. The prosecution made a fateful mistake. They asked O.J. to try on the gloves found at the crime scene. On live television, O.J. struggled to put them on. They appeared too small. Johnny Cochran delivered the line that would echo forever. "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." The defense also pointed to Detective Mark Furman. Tapes revealed him using racial slurs more than 40 times. The defense argued he was racist and possibly planted evidence. At the time, Los Angeles was still raw from the Rodney King beating and riots. The LAPD's reputation was in tatters. The trial became less about evidence and more about race, corruption, and doubt. October 3, 1995. After 9 months of testimony, after 150 witnesses, the jury deliberated less than 4 hours. The world watched live. The verdict was read. O.J. Simpson, not guilty. Gasps, cheers, tears. America was split in half. Some saw justice. Others saw failure. 2 years later, a civil trial found O.J. responsible for the deaths. He was ordered to pay $33.5 million in damages. In 2008, he was convicted of armed robbery in Las Vegas. This time, he went to prison. The O.J. Simpson trial was more than a case. It was a mirror held up to America, a mirror of race, of fame, of power, and of justice. Did O.J. get away with murder? Or was he truly innocent? Decades later, the debate still rages on. What is certain is this: the O.J. Simpson trial changed America. It changed the way we view crime. It changed the way we view celebrity. And it changed the way we view justice. If you found this story shocking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true crime stories every week, and let me know in the comments. Was justice served?